All right. Hello, beautiful humans. What a treat it is to be with you all here. I am coming at you live from sunny California. I've never done a live stream with tarot readings before, but I felt called to give it a try. I'll just impromptu see if anybody tunes in. If not, I'm just going to give this a little tester and see how it goes. And then maybe we'll schedule one for another time. Let's see. There's been lots of things percolating out there in the wide, wide world. I live at the top of a mountain, so I don't know what those things are unless I am intuitively guided to know what they are. But I love reading tarot and being in the energies of things, and nothing is accidental. So being a clear channel is a part of not being flooded with all of the mainstream media and whatnot and what have you. So it's so great to be here. A little bit about myself for those of you who don't know me. I'm Haley Jones. I am a heart-centered comedian and clownvoyant, which means I really use my improv and storytelling skills to really dive deep into the metaphors that the tarot and oracle cards bring forward. I'm also extremely intuitive. I'm a Scorpio moon, if anybody are astrology people. And that is in the ninth house. So Scorpio moon, ninth house. I'm kind of like the little light, that exists in the back of the cave. So I love to dive deep into the realms of the subconscious and the dreams and your wounds and your trauma and to really come up and alchemize them, shadow and light. I call it being an acrobat of the light. So we don't stay stuck on any given thing for too long. All right. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm also a Leo sun, which explains why I'm doing a video. Yeah, and that's what you need to know about me, really. I've been reading tarot for the last how many years now? I guess it's been 15 years, if she's even that old. Just kidding. I know I look older than 15. Thank goodness. Being 15 was awkward. But what's not awkward is doing tarot readings. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to just tune in with some energies for the collective consciousness is all. A lot of my videos, just because I'm reading for myself and my own path of sacred union, are about the masculine and feminine. But I'm feeling like we just need to bring forward some overall messages for the collective consciousness, what we're moving through. So we're going to start with the inner child cards, these big, beautiful ones, and card popped right out. I'm just now looking at it. Ooh, the Guardian of Wands. All right, this is Archangel Raphael with his beautiful like wand with a green butterfly. I know Steve Noble, who has a great YouTube channel, he calls in the directions and he'll call in Archangel Raphael for the East, which of course is the element of air. And the wands that come with this are actually quite cool because he'll build it as like it's a moldavite crystal. It used to be like a caduceus, but it shifts and changes with time of what wand Raphael is carrying. Very earthly connection, and the message I'm getting with this card as it relates to the collective inner child is true. I love that this like archangel's also wearing this like super groovy poncho that could also be a rug, but it's all rainbow and it's Pride Month, y'all. Hey, where the queers at? LGBTQ, all of it, we're all here. Anyway, what we're learning with this card, side tangent, I just like started thinking about all these like pride events and things. Anyway, so what I'm seeing with this card is really allowing like the love of the inner child, the play, the wonder, the connection that children innately have with nature. Now kids have their phones and it numbs them out from going outside so much more. But like I have a tree fort that I built in my backyard out of a bunch of old sticks and things. And right now I'm looking over at like all the trees and some butterflies and just like really allowing allowing that sense of wonder to emerge. It's the respect, the love of the earth. It's hugging trees. It's walking barefoot. It's frolicking in meadows. So this is a really great indication that we should be connecting more with Mama Gaia and doing that from our higher loving perspective. And I was just talking with a friend the other day about the show Sweet Tooth, which is about this little deer kid. And a lot of the message of the show is, like animals don't take for the earth, they live along with it. But these were like hybrid kids. So they also had like the complexity of humans and like making moral decisions and all of that. And so I've really been trying to reframe for myself, how can I live more with the earth? And produce less waste and all of those things, so that like I'm a part of her cycles instead of just working with them. So that feels really cool. Okay, what now? All right, we're gonna go into just doing some of the tarot, and this is going to relate to the inner journey of the collective right now. So this is kind of what's going on with our human selves. And we got seven of boons. Okay, so this is seven of pentacles. This is a doorway. There's lots of different opportunities and choices like coming up, and lots of different pathways to be taken. So even if we look at this, it's like kind of like the path of like a life review, and really sitting with what your internal value systems are, so that you can make choices that are most in alignment with that. Now, no door is the wrong choice. I always, when I see this card, I always think of the Nightmare Before Christmas, and it's like, what happened if he didn't choose like the Christmas door? Like, what if he ultimately chose the Easter door? Like, what if he ultimately chose the Arbor Day door? Like, what a difference. It would be the nightmare before Arbor Day. And that's like everybody wanting to cut down trees and him standing up like the Lorax and being like, no, I speak for the trees. I'm Jack Skeleton. Okay, the crazy metaphor. But at the end of the day, there's no wrong door to connect to. But the more we can connect with ourselves when we choose the door, so that we're making sure it feels aligned with what our current value systems are, and that its learnings and its lessons are going to serve our highest good at this highest time. All right. So now we're going to look into the external bridge of how this applies into the world. Very fun. Okay, so these two cards that come out would be the Four of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. They both popped right out. So what I really hear with this card, this is a time of community celebration. It's putting effort back into art. I don't know why, but I've been coming so incredibly irritated with AI posters and AI material that hasn't been babysat. So even like video edits that like somebody clearly didn't go and like put the human touch on. And like the AI posters, it's just like I'm getting numb to them. That doesn't make me want to come to your event. There's not any creativity or life or love into it. It's just like bleh. And a lot of times those things even like miss the fundamental facts. I would rather a marker on a white piece of paper just saying, ecstatic dance 7 p.m. Sunday, June 12th. I don't know when that'll be, like a couple years from now, but I look forward to that poster. So I don't know. Let's like get back to our creativity. Let's get back to our community. Let's get back to using our hands to create things. So to me, this Four of Wands card, of course, this in the realm of sacred union and divine union, this Four of Wands is a great indication of the 1111, of coming together, of really being present with all that is. And this Three of Pentacles is always about community collaboration. And what I like about this one too is I think there's a notice and some insight coming in around pacing. This kind of looks like a stoplight to some degree. And I like that, it's the orange or the yellow on top, which I think in other countries it might be, that aren't the United States. But regardless, it's really kind of looking at your pacing, and it's like, go slow, full stop, green light, go. And that's a really nice way to kind of look at things. It's like you get the insight, and rather than versus like throwing everything at it all at once, is like sitting with the insight, receive the insight, go slow with it, process it, digest it, stop and be with it, and then take the action. This is a time of being embodied, and starting to really walk with like incredible, like fiery conviction is what I hear. So that's really great. So now we're going to connect with the outer manifestation and what that looks like for the collective here. Okay, cool. So we get eight of arrows, which would be the same as eight of pentacles. To me, this really looks like a happy, healthy community. It's sharing things. Later in the story of these, oh, I'm sorry, did I say pentacles? Eight of swords. But what I really see in this is like active sharing of working together, of collaboration. And later on in the story of these cards, this woman teaches this young strapping lad how to shoot an arrow, how to land a bullseye. So to me, this really goes along with this community celebration. It goes with the community working together and the sharing of resources. And this is fundamentally important. I like that there's people of all ages here working together. You've got the young, the old, and the beautiful. They're all right there. And as we work together, they're sharing the harvest, the abundance. We're sharing the craftsmanship of the arrows and the bow. And I don't know. I think, is she shaking her maracas back there? She is. I thought maybe she was holding plants, but she is shaking her maracas. She's bringing dance, and you know what's cool? I actually have a pair of shoes that looks just like this. They're beautiful little burgundy moccasins that I custom ordered. Highly recommend. Fey Wolf Designs are where I got them. Anyway, so this is healthy community. This is happy community. This is community working together, sharing resources, and that's really what we're working to develop. I've been feeling a huge call to making community feel smaller, of coming back to mutual reference, to finding soul tribe, but on a bigger, like more collective level, so that you can travel globally and still find people who connect to the similar value system, and are working to establish these things so that we can trade insight, stuff at the human level. We've given a lot of our power over to technology, and while technology should absolutely be a tool to connect us, it's up to the humans to like remember how we did stuff. We got to get back to our intuitive insight of knowing which mushrooms to innately eat or not, because we can communicate with the mushrooms. And I'm not talking about like being on mushrooms and communicating. I'm talking about like really working with this. Okay, I want another card. I'm going to draw from a couple decks right now. We're going to get a little crazy. So this is the Anima Mundi Oracle deck with the medicine cards. And aha. So we get Jurgen Sacha Transfiguration. Okay. So I just got done talking about like the fiery energy of this time. This is equivalent to the Tower card in tarot. Also reminds me of Jafar, from Aladdin, and kind of like the conquering of like the evil genie. Which kind of I love AI. I've used it as a tool for organizing files. I use it as a tool for proofreading. Um, edit and but not editing. It's really finding these things of, and everybody's got a way that they make AI work for them to help facilitate their life and organizational process. Now what I feel like, so that's why I say like the evil genie AI, because we want it to stay a good genie. And we want to be able to stay in this transfiguration state of really, being able. Now this, as a collective reading, is kind of an intense card. It's like, oh, this is where the collective is headed. The Tower. Now, but I actually love the Tower, because it's a big change that you see coming. It is an opportunity to throw yourself off a cliff, fully knowing that it's going to take you where you need to go. You're going to gain the lessons and the experience, because there's nowhere to go from this. This tower is on fire. You have to jump off of it, and I feel like that so much of humanity is at this choice point right now, where we can really start to take action on and that's what I hear with the fiery action. take action on the things that we believe and what we're moving towards and how it is that we want to engage with our earth and the people on it. Like nobody's really into war. Like the people who are in the wars are the minority. The people who are not in the wars are the people who like want to keep living in community. So stop giving away your power to all that like conflict and bullshit. Like connect with community instead of conflict. And yeah, conflict will come up in community, and that's the beauty of it. All right, so I drew a dragon card just now, and we got Silver Dragon, okay, who has this beautiful little sacred key that's on fire. Is it the key to this tower? I don't know. But I think that ancient energies are coming up, that we're really being able to access more of our inner wizards and witches and bringing them external. Let's see. This silver dragon illuminates your potential with higher light. Access untapped resources. Look into your soul and see the higher possibilities. Okay, so a large part of the readings and why I do them is because it tunes us all into a higher, wiser timeline. Not that I'm like projecting that out, like that's the insight that I give. And I just had a call where I was in one of the group calls of the work that I'm doing, and the women, we were kind of all on this tangent of like talking about like our distorted fantasies and fairy tales and da da da. And I went onto this tangent of how, and I've talked about this before on this channel, but how the let's see, how the fantasy is actually part of the key work. We distill fantasy and ideals. We take fantasies and ideals and we distill them into values, and that is what we operate and act from. Now, there's something within the process that I was talking about because I think that it's been a little messy in the sense of like we have this idea that kind of can get corrupted, and it gets corrupted by our own perception or our own inability to manifest it as quickly and as we would like it to be. So what I see in this is basically it's like, okay, we have the idea in our head, we feel the thing, we embody it, we can do the whole process of manifestation, and then we start bringing it into words, we start bringing it into reality. This is the thing, the thought becomes the word becomes the action, that whole deal. I don't know what comes after action. That's why I stopped. The action becomes the thing, I guess. Anyway, so if you have the thought and then you bring it into the words and then you try to like scribble down your idea. Well, I'm not an artist. When I draw things, it looks insane. And because I'm not a great artist. If I tried to draw a bird, it would be like a two-dimensional weird looking thing. But like birds actually exist and they're beautiful. So my process of manifestation and bringing the image into the thing, that's kind of what we're working on. It's like I know that a lot of us are feeling these deeper values that we want to implement in our communities. However, the process of allowing that to happen is a little sloppy and disconjointed. It's almost kind of 2D sometimes as it like translates before it hits the 3D, but it came from the 5D or beyond. And anyway, it's a deep process that we're really working with in big ways. Okay, so I'm just drawing one of all of my cards. It's quite fun. All right, so from the subconscious of the collective, what we're working with right now from the Wild Things Oracle is bravely go. I love that. Okay, so this guy, he's not afraid to jump off this tower. He's like, "Oh, it's the time that I've been dreaming about." And he's got his fun outfit on. He's ready to play. He's got the gentleness of his little bunny familiar. This little goblin is super into mushrooms and also just super into being brave. And you are so brave. All of us are so brave. It's tough being a human being, and every day we go out into the world and we say things, we offer our truth, we offer our love. Sometimes we live in our fear, and even that's vulnerable, because what a horrible way to live. But like the more you can see it and the more you step into living in the fear allows you to transmute it. And this is all of the process of how we're alchemizing these things. Now I'm pretty new with working with these cards, so I'm actually going to read I'm going to read the book of it. It's number 9. Okay. Bravely Go. I love this guy. I haven't seen him before. That's why I'm excited to be working with him. Okay. Bravely Go. Remember the adage, speak softly and carry a big stick. If you've never heard of it, it basically means it's time to move forward bravely while carrying your awareness and your discernment like a weapon. You already know which way to go. This is the moment to get up and move forward toward the path you're being called to, even if the way is dark or scary, especially if it's dark or scary. The only way to cure the inertia is to move. So put your brave boots on and get busy. If there's something in your life that scares and excites you at the same time, it's almost always the best thing ever. I love that. You get a chance to prove yourself that you're bigger than your fear while also showing yourself that you're worth every inspirational and thrilling experience you can dream up. Do it. Wow. I super love that. I love this guy. I love being brave. Um, so be brave and really celebrate what it is that your heart is calling you to do. All right. That is a big message for the collective. Ooh, there's a little ladybug on my mat right now. All right. I'm also going to work with the Tree Keepers Oracle right now. We're going to see what's going on. Um, oh, Oh, Seer. Great. I just saw your message there. I don't know when you put it. There's something over it. I will, after do this card, we'll go into that question. It's a great question. All right. So here we go. Last one for the collective, the Keeper of Flow. All right. And this is Tree Keeper Oracle. We're going to, and I'm newly working with this one as well. So I'm just going to read the book and then we'll jump into our friend below's question. All right. 24. Keeper of Flow. All day, every day, the heart of your life tree performs one function. It regulates flow. It speaks one language, open and close. When we allow our heart to navigate our life, it's much easier to determine a person, a place, or an opportunity is aligned with our highest good or not. So, first ask yourself, does this situation align with flow? Does it feel upstream or downstream? And second, does this situation open me up and make me feel more possible and more alive? Does it make me feel small, cramped, or less than? These are the only two directions that the heart knows. More of what opens us up, less of what closes us down. With this pull of this card, you're being asked to listen to its simple directives in order to set a course for your own worth. All right. So, yeah, this feels spot on with everything that we're kind of working with. Working with this Go Brave, part of being brave is really listening to your own intuition about what it is that's coming up. Part of being brave is asking for help when you need it. Part of being brave is thinking of your wildest dreams and every day taking an action step for it. So, take the leap, embrace that tower energy and go for it. All right. Now, our friend who's tuned into the channel. All right. All right. Here we go. So we're going to tune into your question here. So, no contact. When will we have reunion? And is he taking action towards me? Now, a lot of times, I think it's really important to assess the energies of what it is that's coming up for you within this. So, as I put away these other cards and draw some cards for you both, I'd like you to just kind of sit with what feelings this brings up within you. If the no contact is stirring up a lot of fear and despair and loneliness, those are important things to be aware of. If the no contact um, is fine. You're like, wow, we haven't talked in a while. Like, I know I'm connected with this person. Like, I'm curious about what's going to move in. That's fine too. So, the feelings that we have when it comes to sacred union, it's really important to be aware of because they're a good assessment of where we are at in our energy. Now, I don't, our energy and our journey. Now, I don't really subscribe to if you fully heal yourself, then your beloved will show up. Like, we know that our beloveds show up when they need to show up. That's part of the fun of the journey, right? We know that we have dreams about them when they step forward, when they need to communicate with us. You know, we know we have feelings, or our senses can just smell them out of nowhere. You know, the connection with the beloved is an incredibly beautiful thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of kind of assessing where your energy is at, where his energy is at, and we will see where this takes us. Okay, so here we go for a friend here. Oh, and for their beloved. Okay, and what's going on with this shared energy? Okay, very good. All right. So here for you, we have this really beautiful affirmation, which is the Ace of Cups. So what I feel kind of based off this card, like stirring around in your own energy, is like new forms of heart awareness are starting to come in. So even some of the things that we've been talking about on this channel, even some of the questions that are coming up is it's creating this opening, and that's where I kind of come back into back into this thing of like, what emotions are you feeling? If you were to sit in a visualizations process and he was to call you and say, hey, let's meet up at a coffee shop right now, or let's go climb this mountain, or if he showed up at your front door and was ready to propose, had a ring out and everything, how would you feel in any of those given scenarios? Because I know for me, there's been times where it's like, oh, I'm just longing for that union and I just can't wait for them to be back in thing. But when I really sit with it, the idea of them showing up with a ring makes me want to run for the hills. Um, and other times I can, as I've grown and evolved, now I'm just like at more of a surrender space of like, they're doing them and I'm doing me. And both of us are really deepening into our own experience and our own awareness, so that maybe we can come together, maybe we won't. To me, it feels inevitable, but we don't know. So I'd really invite you to be present with these heart energies that are being stirred up for you during this time, and have fun asking yourself different questions or creating different scenarios. And I'll do that just with the small stipulation of don't future project like into exactly what everything looks like. It's more of, if this were to happen, how would I feel about it? Because I think, too, especially as the feminine, we like to try things on for size. We like to say, okay, like if my path did take this direction, what would it feel like? What would the reality of it? And I always try to like imagine like if it was the worst, and if it was the best, and like what the real day to day of being in union with a person could look like. Okay. So, as it relates to your counterpart, or at least what's coming through here, is the Eight of Swords. So, to me, this shows with them, there's definitely some blocks to their ability to truly see themselves. To me, this also, I don't know the story obviously, but there feels like there's some sort of addictive energies that are maybe like creating the mask, or like keeping a restriction from connection. And to be honest, like this energy doesn't really dance with this energy, and you don't want them to. You don't want like this went, oh yeah, oh what hands are doing what. This vulnerable, the video is mirrored. It's making me feel really silly. Okay, so what we see is that this Ace of Cups here, like this energy is really pure and it's open, and it's really cultivating like a fresh new love. This is always an indication of a fresh new start. But this energy doesn't match that at all. This one's like still being pretty self-absorbed, being deep in their own process, and not really having clear guidance and such come through it. I'm gonna get another. Oh, okay. Um, for some reason, I put my cards face up, and this is what came up, which is the Four of Cups, which is just kind of like it's missing the beauty in life. It's like you have the choice to, see this vivid rainbow reality, and it's being missed. So both of these cards are kind of offering a similar reflection of, there's maybe aspects of depression going on for them right now. There's a real heavy and weight of going on of not being able to access not only their own inner magic but also the outer magic. I mean, this could even be representative of you, and it's like they can't see the the beauty of this. This could also be representative of how you're kind of engaging in this process. It's like sitting around waiting. So don't wait. There's never a worse waste of time than waiting for your beloved to say make a change. Live your life to the most of the full, like the biggest of the capacity. And all twin flame couples that I've connected with, who are in union speak, they all say it's like you live your life fully, not knowing if it'll ever happen, fully knowing that it will. And of course that's a crazy juxtaposition, but you can't just sit in this energy. You really have to like be in enjoying your life. So the shared energy, what I'm seeing is a walking away. And this is a very fertile ground. I'm going to get another card of insight here just to get a slightly deeper perspective on the walking away. um so yeah, I'm not sure how you're sensing this particular connection, but I'm coming back to this Ace of Cups for you. It's like I would really invite you to open up to bigger energies, newer energies, and that might come forward as another potential partner. Also, it might just be like instilling your own trust with the divine and how you move and what through. Okay, yes. So what I see with the third energy is there's a walking away, there's the taking of space. This is the Ten of Swords, which is a good evolution from the Eight of Swords, and it's a freeing of all of these birds. They're not just like holding the strings anymore. They're not being kind of uh, being held tight. They're kind of breaking free and they're exploring the horizon. All right, and that's what, often in any couple, whether it's sacred union or divine counterpart or just a deep soul connection, or even in karmic connections, there's the things that the third energy is trying to teach us and guide us through. So when you've connected with this person, there is it's that third energy is developed and it starts to kind of take a momentum of their own. I think in some communities, that's what they call, God. You always bring God into the relationship. I so whatever that is for you. But the card that clarified this card is the Queen of Pentacles. And how radiant and lovely is she? Okay, so to me, this is a woman who has really dived deep into her own experience, has gotten to know herself, and now she's like this embodied, like, earthly goddess. And this is incredibly powerful to be with. And it's an incredibly powerful thing to be walking into. This Queen of Pentacles is the claiming of the throne. So I think in a lot of times, in a lot of the unions that have been going on, is that there is this incredibly um, sacred process that unfolds. And what I realized, that I got activations from the most recent soul dance that I was in, was that co-creation happens actively in the moment. All right, and you want to co-create from the fullest part of yourself. And when I had that image of myself in that aspect of co-creation, it was a woman that was embodied as the goddess who like stood at the front of a boat and was like, I can see all that's coming, and was guiding her masculine through her intuitive awareness, not of projecting what those things looked like, but understanding the energies and the frequencies that were coming towards both of them. um, I do believe that it is feminine led. The path of sacred union is a watery thing. It's the water is what shapes the stream, and the water is the feminine. She's uncontrolled, she's wild, she's moving with direction and intention because she knows that we must move. The masculine is kind of what holds her as she moves. And sometimes she floods him, right? But the idea is not to flood. Instead, it's this harmonious thing. The masculine also dictates the pace. He puts blocks and barriers that helps the flow of the water. Now, it's important not to stagnate the water either. We have to let the masculine. There's a little too many rocks in this pool, and now the water stinks. We got to bring some more water moving. We got to move this rock out of the way. So it's really embodying that feminine presence of movement is the primary message that I get for you. Now, I will. You had a second question there, so I don't ever read with time because these are timeless connections typically anyway. And unless spirit specifically guides me to that, I don't think it's helpful because then we start creating a projection of what's going to happen versus allowing. And we really want to be in that space of ease, flow, allowing, and receiving. Okay, now your curiosity towards the action towards him or him taking action towards you. There, an Ace of Pentacles does come up. So to me, that says, but it's followed by what we drew with the Queen of Pentacles. So yes, it is likely that he will take action towards you, but you have to be embodying this energy before that. And that's not because you're fully healed. It's not because you're perfect. It's because you've embodied who you are, what you want in this world, and you won't accept anything less. And what I love is like he's bringing her a fresh seed. She's cultivated this pentacle, but there's a new pentacle. It's a new mandala. So that you have two aces going forward in this. You have two aces appearing in this reading shows me that there are fresh new beginnings available to you. But whether it's this connection or another one, it's really about you embodying your radiance and your light. So I know you're already on the path to doing it. That's why this card come up. Really be in the beauty of those heart energies and do the things that make you feel radiant and beautiful. If you feel radiant and beautiful, like wearing a silk dress, go buy yourself a silk dress. If you feel radiant and beautiful, like rolling around in uh, mud, do that. Like whatever it is, like that makes you feel fun and embodied and full. That's the real invitation of what's going on here, because it's these things together that call forward that divine partner. And honestly, this woman, she doesn't need a partner, but she welcomes him when he comes and is excited when he's there. So I hope that's fruitful for you. I hope that it resonated. If it looks like another has joined, if anybody wants to, if you want to chime in the comments, if anything isn't unclear, please let me know. But yeah, that feels like a good place to kind of be with what's happening. Wow, what a time. um, awesome. All right. Well, unless somebody else chimes in with something, I'm going to draw one last card for the collective at this time. And then I'm going to sign off for today. But this has been super fun and so great to tune in with the energies this way. Oh, here we go. Oh, you're so sweet. I absolutely know how hard it is. Like, and let those don't absolutely cry. Part of how the heart opens is all of those tears. When I first went through the path of initiation, I didn't know what was happening. This was in 2011, 2012. There wasn't a lot of spiritual text out. Like the internet wasn't even that big yet. So like the term twin flame, sacred, I didn't know about any of this, but I was having this huge heart activation and I would just weep. I remember getting on an airplane after having, like the push pull dance had started with this particular beloved who was just meant to activate me and my gifts. But the push pull dance had started and I got on an airplane to go back to school and I just sobbed on the airplane. And the two people sitting next to me, I was like, we just have to cry on an airplane sometimes. So let those tears flow. Like I always talk about, like you want to bottle like um, those sacred tears, because those will come in handy as we water our intentions, as we water our prayers. So yes, I hear that. The cry and the tear is so real, and I understand that commitment that really focus on giving that love to yourself. Anything that you would give him, treat it as if it's just another part of you, holding it in here. I know for me, when I really want to contact, or when I've been in situations where I want to contact a beloved and they're not available for that, what I do is I journal to them or I write them a letter. And it's not one that it's intended to be sent to them ever. I'll burn the letter or I'll wash the letter in water, I'll bury it, or sometimes I'll read it out loud, I'll edit, whatever you need to do to create that communication. But ultimately, that union energy is created within you. So be with that. And yeah, living with your fullest. Sometimes your fullest is like curled up under the moon sobbing on a sidewalk. I've been there, literally. People pull up, "What, are you okay?" "Yeah, I just need to cry on a sidewalk." Like, let yourself be in the fullest of your those emotions, because that's the water that I talk about. That's the water that creates the movement. And I know that the longing is real, but channel that longing into the movement of the emotion initially, and then if you can, like, generate the creativity, or if you like to cook or whatever, like, find a way that that can move and you can infuse this sacred initiation that your soul has invited you to go on, that knows love, like God knows love, and I'm not God in like the Bible sense, just like God as universe, God is love, like as the celestial beings. Because the more we free ourselves, like even in this judgments of ourselves in the process, the judgments of them in the process, like you can acknowledge that someone's being seedy or going through that behaviors that are not conducive to your growth, um, and you can still hold them in love. All right, but in able to hold them in love, you also have to have done that work around yourself to really embody that deep sense of not judgment and pure love, while holding your boundaries. Because again, this lady, she ain't taking no nonsense. She's not gonna go hang out with this guy. Are you kidding me? She's like, I don't got time for that. Um and and part of our time is how we spend our energy. Okay, so yeah. And yes, okay, so I think I hit everything that you wrote. So, yes. And the last piece for you, my dear friend, I totally understand the fairy tale connection, but remember that the fairy tales themselves are paths of initiation. So, the start of Snow White, her stepmother literally tries to kill her. She feels the longing, she sees the prince. Her stepmother tries to kill her. She runs into the woods. She's terrified, right? And then she finds, like in her stillness, she finds cultivating safety with the dwarves. She cultivates her own inner knowing in that time. I see you, Kevin. I'll get to you next. And so really try to get into the medicine of the fairy tales, because often when we think fairy tale, we just think that divine connection and the happily ever after, but we forget that there's a whole like path of initiation in between. And you might be running through the forest right now. You might be just, of service to the gnomes, the gnomes and dwarves and all the forest creatures. But there's even something to enjoy in that. No need to apologize, Kevin. I'm glad you're here. All right. So you have a job for on a job interview on Monday. Awesome. Glad you're here and asking some questions. All right. So I'm just gonna similar to what I just did for my friend above. I'm going to draw energies for you and where you're at, energies for the job, and then we're going to see what the shared energy looks like, the compatibility of it is at this time, and that's what we'll know. All right, here we go. I'm actually going to switch to the Forest of Enchantment cards because they're fun. All right. So, what does our friend Kevin need to? What do we need to know about Kevin at this time in relation to this job? Well, a bunch of cards fell out. What are these cards? Awesome. And cool. And now for the job, what are the energies of this job that Kevin needs to be aware of? And then what's the third energy of this? Ooh, okay. Interesting. Um, all right. I'm gonna do some clarification cards. Ooh, Okay. Well, we got some interesting energies here. Well, Kevin, you're super cool. We've got the Seeker of Spells here, which is the same as the Knight of Wands. All right. And what we love about the Knight of Wands is this is a really charismatic, like caring energy comes up. It's somebody who really understands, understands their own magic, their own values that they're bringing to the table and bringing forward. So this is really cool. Yeah, Ragan, or I love you. It's so good. So I love this energy for you because this is a really great place to be out in the job market. Um, and what we're working with this is we also have this little bit of a trickster energy in the back here, so in a lot of fairy tales or Disney movies, we always have this fox who's a little tricky. The tricky fox, is always kind of dancing on the good and bad, and I don't think that's you. I think that is representative of this job that you're applying for, and so I don't know what your attachments are to it, or like how stoked you are for it, but what I do see is the organization itself might be a little bit disorganized and a little bit chaotic. And so there is the possibility, like, and we just compare the images they're going for. You might go for this job interview and kind of get into this organization and be like, whoa, like there is a lot of people here who match a lot of skill, like they're at a different place than you. It's almost like you've mastered things that they haven't. So if you did enter this environment, you would be more of a teacher than you would be a feeling met by partners and equals. So it really just depends on kind of like what it is that you want to move forward. The third energy of it is actually kind of similar to this card, which is a little elusive. It's a little disoriented. It's kind of like a pick your poison sort of thing. So I'm not getting that this job is actually like the perfect match for you. And it may take some time, like for things to land anyway. And the two clarifier cards that I got, they don't, this one obviously feels very intense. It's the Three of Swords. So to me, this would also indicate that like this job could bring up like um some old wounds for you, or it could, like, if you're leaving a different company to try to find a different company, it's going to be just same of the old BS. And then what comes with it is this reverse Seven of Pentacles, and we like this card as an indication of like groundedness, of like seeds are being planted. And so I think whatever you're doing like within this process, be very present with yourself. So like if old stuff is coming out, be oh my gosh, the mirroring on this video is cracking me up. So if old stuff is coming out, that's, just be present with that for you. And also be, like you get to kind of choose your own direction. But what I really hear is you're planting good seeds moving forward. So if this isn't the ultimate interview because of what the organization brings forward, Spirit is in the process of seeing that you've made clear intentions and that you are planting right seeds. This just might not be the perfect opportunity. And again, tossing it back, it has nothing to do with you. It's the organization itself. Like you are really in such a beautiful light right now to be calling in a position that really serves you long term. Cool. So hopefully that was helpful, Kevin. We had another friend pop on. Anonymous, who's also asking about job interviews. And let's see, the last job or interviews for 3 different companies. As of today, all 3 companies rejected in the same hour between 5 and 6. Well, that's synchronistic. Awesome. Well, rejection sucks regardless of if you loved those jobs or like you were excited about those opportunities or not. So I'm feeling you with that, and maybe you're feeling stressed about your finances or something. Um, let's see. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate the affirmations, and yeah, thanks for tuning in. It was really nice to have you pop on here. All right, anonymous, anonymous. Also on a job category. Let's hope some of Kevin's like cool mastery vibes also come through and support you and both in your job search. We call the angels of the job searches and interviews to really align. Um, but what I hear for both of you also is just to always keep in mind, especially in these types of job hunts, that rejection is protection. All right. Like, and the thing that's meant to align with you will. And the more specific you get about that and you like kind of embrace your own wizardry, the more fun you'll start to have in like cultivating a job that's just right for you. Okay, so what's going on with this job situation? And for anonymous, and what were we looking towards with the energies for jobs? Great. Ooh, oh, we got some magic here going on for you. Not all feels despairing. And what's the third energy guiding towards? Okay, interesting. Okay, so what we have here, our dear friend, is the Three of Spells. So this would be representative of your three jobs. Just all were like, nah, this isn't it. And what I see in this card, it's like really like you're putting forward, like you're like, I put out all the applications, like I felt good about it. I really like planted these seeds forward. And like the wishes, the intentions were all there. Like I did everything I could. But this is you sending them off, right? You're like, nope, this is send them away because this isn't it. Those candles like went out like instantaneously. Um, but let's focus on the beauty of the fact that you made it to the last round of interviews for three different companies all at the same time, right? So you made it to the last round, which shows that you are yourself radiating what it is that you are calling in. All right. So each of those opportunities and each of those interviews really gave you an opportunity to cultivate more of what your ideals were so that you can move forward into to really cultivating what it is next for you. Now, I don't know if self-employment is something that you're interested in. I don't know your field, but a lot of times when I see that happen repetitively, there is an invitation from the universe to step up and claim it on your own. And what you learned from these different processes could you distill into something that you could do for yourself. And a lot of times I think people make it a bigger deal than it is to um, to start your own employment. So the card here, sorry, thanks for reminding me, I didn't say the thing. It's the Three of Spells or the Three of Wands. Okay. So the next card that came out in relation to the jobs is the Seeker of Visions or the Knight of Cups. So what I see with this guy is he is Mr. Ideals. He's like sitting in a mendo just playing a harp, and it's like this is all life is. He's a little flighty, to be honest. So you don't want to stay in this process indefinitely, right? It's like, okay, you can take the rejection, you can move forward, you can gather the ideals that all of those opportunities taught you, and then what? All right. Then what comes forward is a reversed wheel of fortune. Okay. So this is the enchanter's wheel, which is oddly very similar to the reading right before you. Kevin, he had the seven of visions, which also has this wheel like energy. It's a little more elusive because it's in a well. And this is something that's been intentionally woven. Now it is reversed. And what I'm feeling like that for you is really just like the things are turning in your favor. The process is just moving a little bit slower than what you would like it. So I'm going to grab a clarifier card and like, okay, well, what can we look forward for our dear Anonymous's path? Pick another card. All right. So we have two cards. Okay. Yes. Okay. So this is kind of the delay, but things are moving in your forward in your favor. And so the two clarifiers that came out are the Four of Wands and the Tower. Okay, so people always get nervous when a major arcana comes out, but you have two of them because these are like dates with destiny. They're inevitable things that are moving forward for you. Now, what we see in this, the Enchanter's Wheel here, is still intention that's been woven together. And with these two these two cards coming out, and Four of Wands is community celebration. To me, this actually is an invitation for you to free up your own energy from the intensity of the job search and the hiring process. Like I know for me, when I've invested something a lot into a project or an idea of something that's going to manifest and then it doesn't, like I need to take time to kind of grieve it. And the fact that there were three of these going on simultaneously, like you need to go out and have fun. And I'm not saying like go get wasted, man. Like I'm saying like really find like just like move some of that out of um your body. Okay, I love that. You need to start your own. You need money to hire people. Okay, well, so I have a lot of my own businesses going on, and like what is it that you can do on your own before you expand into the hiring, and maybe you have different things that you need support of. And that's okay to need that support. But when I first started my businesses, I did everything myself. I learned how to make posters. I learned how to contact. I learned how to do basic sound stuff. I produced shows and performed in shows. So I learned how to do all of that I possibly could. Now I wasn't great at every area of it. I'm primarily an entertainer and a performer. But learning how to do the basics eventually called in people who like wanted to be a part of whatever it was that I was building. And now typically when I have business ideas or I'm working on expanding like assets of uh, different venues of my I can't find my words. When I'm working on expanding, those people start to show up that have the exact skills that I need to do this. Um, okay. Yeah, that's great. So it's about renting a server and hiring artists. I have one app published, but the next ones need arts and servers, sadly. That's why I want a job. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I hear that. So we'll get to this tower now. Now, this to me, for you, feels like a strike of brilliance. It's not so much of like needing to throw yourself off something, because I feel like you've already done that. You've put yourself on the world. You're asking for the support. You're trying to find the job to support your next phase of building. Um, but it's like a strike of brilliance. And what I almost see is like this strike could also bring some of the funding and the resources that you're trying to call in. So I'm going to get one more clarification. What is this? What is this strike of brilliance that we're getting this message about? Queen of Wands. So this Queen of Wands is one of my favorite queens because they're all great in different reasons, but the Queen of Wands is somebody who's really like manifesting the reality. She's creating the vision, she's sculpting it, and then she's like kind of like, listening to her tunes and grooving and like loving her scented candles and her incense. She's having fun in the process of creation. And so that goes back to this Four of Wands. Like I think you need to free up some of your energy because it's really like kind of stuck in this process of, oh, it's not working. And I tried to do this because it's like, don't think about anything for a little bit. Like take a day or two or whatever you can, like go drink Slurpees, frolic in parks, like swim in rivers, whatever it is that you do to recharge and um, you know, like embody yourself more. That's this queen energy. That's this Four of Wands. And yeah, and that's really powerful because that's what's going to bring in kind of this lightning insight that comes from this tower card. And you can see it even in the card as she's like got the lightning in her hand and she's ready to receive it. So take some time, like notice anywhere you have these blocks and these stop points. I've done that too, where I'm like, well, I don't have this, so I couldn't do it. But it's like shifting my focus to what it is that I do have and what it is that I can do makes a big difference. And then also sometimes just like setting it aside for a little bit and be like, you know what? I'm going to go play for a little bit and then see what I can cultivate. I mean, even this video today is a great example of that. When I started it for the first like 20 minutes, nobody was here. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a reading for the collective and see what happens. And then as other people trickled on, it's been really lovely to connect with other energies and to do readings today. And I'm just doing it because it feels good. And what else am I going to do today? My foot's broken. I'm sitting around home healing my foot. Yes, Michelle, I'd love to work with you. Do you feel good, Anonymous Anonymous? Any other you feel like we've tackled you've got some good insights moving forward. I'm excited for you. I think you've got some good bases that are definitely going to help people. And the light in your heart and the wishes you're planting are definitely are definitely out there. They're doing some stuff. All right, Michelle, you want to give me kind of what area we're looking at? Also, I don't know if what your 8889 represents, but that's my birthday. So that's really fun for me. It's funny because I just texted somebody today. They were like, "Oh, are you having your midlife crisis?" I'm like, "I'm not even close to my midlife crisis." My birthday is 8889. Anyway, yes. Adam's not, yeah, move through that again. Like, kind of make the rejection fun. As a performer, I've gotten rejected so much, and I really like just deepen into this, just like, oh, that's not the job for me. Like, what am I going to create next? So yeah, feel the and the and then also let the and the in simultaneously. So anyway, that's super good for you, and I'm proud of you. Yeah, thanks for asking your question and reaching out. Okay, Michelle. Yes. Oh, how funny. It was for mail once. I needed numbers. Oh, you'd like to just know where your what your guides, what they want to bring through. Okay, I'm trying to think what deck. I think I'm gonna stick with this deck. All right. I love that. Well, it's a good series of numbers. It's been a great birthday to have. So it's fun to say. 89. And people are like, "Aren't you born that you like are bummed that you weren't born in 88?" And I go, "Absolutely not. Like, you need something a little different, some sort of evolution to the next step." Awesome. Oh, no, you're from 89 too. Cool. Oh, what a year. All right. So I'll draw three cards and we'll see what they have to tell you. One's for you, one's for your guides, and one's the shared energy between you all. All right. Ooh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm gonna get some clarification cards because this is a really interesting flow. So the first card that comes out is the Tower, which is curious because we got that in the last reading just now. Um, and the Tower in this card is actually called the Folly. And I'll hold it up in just a second. I just wanted to grab one more clarify or two more clarifiers so I know what these are about. Okay. Hmm. All right. So actually, okay, we'll go into this. So we have the Folly, which is the Tower card. Now I like it because I think you may have seen the Tower that I showed before, which was like a lightning bolt thing. But I also really love the way the Tower is projected in this deck. Projected, is that the right word? Feels weird. Anyway, but to me it shows like, okay, so it's obviously this cool little tree house, but like it's been kind of neglected by the thoughts of times, but there's still like sacredness happening within it. Maybe there's a warlock or an enchantress inside casting spells because she just happened to find this space in the forest. But to me, it really signifies that whatever's going on for you in your life right now, you either have just experienced like some sort of like up, upheaval's not the right word. More of like it's like your crown has kind of opened up, and like there's been this big release of all this old stuff, and then this new insight simultaneously is wanting to come in, but it's kind of like circling above. And I get that this is more about the release that's kind of moving forward. So what your guides or ancestors want to and the last part of this is like you're at a completion of a cycle. So this is a Nine of Pentacles. So whatever process you've been moving through, it really is about kind of like starting to harvest the fruits of it, or like to also like take on that release. She's harvesting her pentacles from this tree, or maybe not. That's maybe not what she's doing, but to me that's what that looks like. Like, oh, I'm taking the fruit, or so to me it's like receiving the fruits of your labor, or like walking away from not serving you. So that feels really big. Now, your guide specifically, it's really interesting. So we have the Keeper of Visions, so the King of Cups, and what's happening with this King of Cups is, this is a very watery king, but we love the King of Cups because this could also represent like a masculine energy. I'm almost getting, and I don't want this to be my own projection, but it almost feels like a father figure, somebody like from the other side, or it has like this very like loving masculine presence. And what also comes through is the sun, which would be the divine masculine. So I know a lot of people who tune into this channel are probably because I do a lot of readings on the masculine and feminine, the divine of that. But what I feel like for you is just like this really is kind of that. It's a counterpart, not necessarily in the beloved sense, but it's a counterpart who's just like really showering you with love and like wants you to receive this in the fullest extent. Like has witnessed you through this process. That you've been in and just like wants to celebrate you for how you've like emotionally alchemized it and like danced with it simultaneously. So the third energy like of this process and what's bringing forward is actually really interesting. So I would say this is actually one of my least favorite cards in the deck. I never really know what to do with the Devil or the Liar. And how interesting of just like share what your guide, like I want to know what my guides have to say to me. So I would say that whatever it is that you've been moving through, this usually the Devil appears as some sort of warning, or just like an indication that things aren't exactly as they seem. So, yeah, so whatever it is that you're dancing and moving with, and I don't want to like layer it too much without like knowing the specifics. But like it is time to like walk away and move from the situation. Like the overall lesson of what you've been learning. It might even be something around like your own boundaries and like way that you've circled and spiraled with stuff previously. Like that's no longer the path to which you need to walk. It's really time to like look out towards these new horizons. And for you, you got this Nine of Pentacles, and then for the shared energy or for this, path moving forward, is the Ten of Swords. So that just like more completion, more like the new horizons. Okay, I broke up with my ex a couple of months ago and then went back to meditate more again, and I'm trying to activate my Kundalini. Okay, well, the Tower would be an indication of a Kundalini activation, but I don't know how spiritually versed you are, but intentionally activating your Kundalini could bring you a lot of chaos in your life, which is representative of that. If it's just like because so for me, when it happened, I was doing this like I didn't know anything about Kundalini or whatever, but I started doing like a daily Kundalini meditation, and then I had a simultaneous like Kundalini activation. And I'm only sharing this story not because this will be your experience, but just to be mindful of the energies. And it all happened at once. So like everything in my life, then like I lost my job, I got like kicked out of my spiritual community. Like I was shunned by like the local theaters. Like it was just like everything that could have gone, like all went wrong. It was like a 1 2 3. And then I was just like, and simultaneously I was weeping, I was laughing, like because my spine got so like actually so hot I couldn't even sleep on it. It was absolutely on fire. So I love that you have had this separation, and it's brought you this activation. But I would be mindful of working with the Kundalini energies. Now, Kundalini will rise naturally as it's supposed to, and sometimes that can happen with the beloved. Sometimes that can be your own practice, but you really want to be mindful of like setting the intention and that moves at the pace that is for the highest good of you and everyone connected to you. So and I think that might be some of this like devil energy of like the alluring of like having Kundalini activation isn't always as great as it seemed. Or this could be also you walking away from this and then like searching new horizons. Let me grab another clarifying card. Where are we? What is all of this taking us? And I'm grabbing three. Yeah, so yeah, just be sure that you're like clearing you're setting your meditation. And I just start with just working with the root of like I just want to just work with the energies of the root chakra, and then ask that it, ask the support of your guides, especially this like beautiful like water guy, to help that, like to counterbalance the fire with the water. Um, okay, so what I see within this process, I guess for you, or the clarifying cards that I got, would be the Eight of Wands, the Four of Wands, and the King of Swords. Okay, so um, what I see in this is like the Eight of Wands is usually always indicative of a message coming. So I would, in your meditations, before you actively start trying to activate Kundalini energies and that sort of thing, like really work on cultivating that communication with your own guides as to how to move with that process. Um, and this Four of Wands, this has been a heavy hitter today. I think it's come out quite a bit. But, is this card of community celebration and that sort of thing. So I almost see also like part of this activation for you, and a way to activate it without like getting blown up, would be just through movement in general. And yeah, I'd be mindful, and this comes up a lot in spiritual, like when people do Kundalini yoga, or sometimes that energy can activate stuff too fast. But a great way to naturally activate Kundalini would be through dance and movement. And again, I'm hearing root so strongly for you, of just like getting really like in your root center, doing like pelvic spirals, and of just like reconnecting to your base of the earth, feels like the first step before like the Kundalini is really getting activated. And then again, we have the King of Swords, and he's great. And what I feel that the message of this is just like, through this insight and through an intentional movement practice, you're gonna gain your own insight of how to move and dance, with these different energies and a little initiations that you've been through. So, woohoo! Well, I am feeling like I'm approaching the end of my time with you all today. Michelle, let me know if that all sits clear before I super close out. Want to make sure that you're good there, not leaving you hanging. I think thank you all for tuning in today and asking questions. And yeah, this is the first time I've done a live stream with tarot readings, and it was super fun. It was a great way to spend an hour of my day. So my name is Haley Jones. If you ever want a private reading with me, you can send me an email at prismhealers@gmail.com. Prism like rainbow, not prison, like jail. That's not what we want. We want prismhealers@gmail.com. And then I'll get back to you and I'll let you know. I usually do donation, suggested 80 per hour. And yeah, and then we just kind of dive into more specific areas, and it'd be an active Zoom call so we could have like a real conversation. So that is available for you all, and I hope you have a blessed day. And yeah, keep if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do that. That's a super helpful thing. All right, the feed is at 111, so I'm gonna end it. Hope it's good. Okay, there we go. Was waiting for Michelle. Yes, it's just because I spent so long. Yes, I hear that. Um, Yep. So yeah, as just a response to your comment before we close out, is that don't be worried if things are at a standstill. Sometimes we are exactly where we need to be. And if you do feel stuck, versus trying to do it all yourself, like that's always when it's nice to do some sort of collaboration or get like, human energies. Whenever I'm feeling like that with my friends, we do tarot exchanges for each other, or something like that. So that might be a good way to move forward. Anyway, many blessings. I'll see you guys when I see ya. Oh.